Imagine holding a single copper coin in your palm, something most people would barely notice. Yet inside that small circle of metal lives a story of American history, hidden rarity, dramatic minting mistakes, and values that can quietly climb into the thousands or even higher. In this episode of the Coins Numismatic Series, we dive deep into 3 Lincoln pennies that look ordinary at first glance, yet carry extraordinary stories, market demand, and collector fascination. From subtle mint mark mysteries to die varieties, condition sensitivity, and the powerful psychology of scarcity, these 1-cent coins reveal why numismatics is more than money, it is living history. Settle in, because each coin has a journey worth hearing, and every detail could change how you look at the smallest denomination in your pocket. 1969 Lincoln Penny 1-cent coin with mint mark D and fine condition. The 1969 Lincoln Penny with the D mint mark emerges from a fascinating moment in American coinage, a period when the United States Mint was balancing tradition, rising production demands, and the lingering effects of earlier coin shortages. By the late 1960s, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for more than half a century, carrying Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The Denver Mint, identified by the D mint mark beneath the date, was tasked with producing hundreds of millions of cents each year to keep up with commerce. In 1969, Denver struck an enormous mintage, exceeding billions of pieces, which at first glance suggests that any surviving example should be common and inexpensive. Yet numismatics is rarely that simple. The historical context matters deeply. Copper prices were rising, inflation was reshaping everyday spending, and the mint was under constant pressure to maintain quality while pushing out massive volumes of coinage. The cent in 1969 was still composed primarily of copper, giving it that warm reddish tone collectors love. The Denver issues often show slightly different strike characteristics than Philadelphia or San Francisco pieces, sometimes softer on the finer details of Lincoln's hair and beard due to heavy dye use. A coin in fine condition displays moderate wear, but still retains readable legends, a clear date, and visible design features, making it accessible for entry-level collectors while still offering potential for premium examples within that grade. Design remains classic and symbolic. Lincoln's portrait faces right, dignified and steady, a tribute to national unity and endurance. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, with tiny engraved columns and even a miniature statue of Lincoln visible inside when the strike is strong. Collectors often examine the steps of the memorial, the sharpness of the lettering, and the clarity of the designer's initials. These subtle design cues become important when evaluating eye appeal and authenticity. What truly elevates the 1969 cent into the realm of collector excitement is the shadow cast by famous varieties and errors from the same year. The legendary 1969 double die obverse from Philadelphia has achieved almost mythical status, selling for massive sums. While the Denver version does not carry that exact double die, collectors constantly search for minor double dies, repunched mint marks, die cracks, and off-center strikes. Even small errors can significantly raise value, especially when certified by a reputable grading service. The presence of a clean, well-centered D mint mark is itself something collectors examine carefully, as weak or distorted mint marks can indicate die wear or interesting anomalies. Market value for a standard 1969 D cent in fine condition is generally modest, often just slightly above face value. However, the story changes when eye appeal is strong, color is original, and surfaces are free from corrosion or heavy spotting. Red-brown examples with even toning attract steady interest. When upgraded into higher circulated grades or uncirculated condition, prices rise dramatically. Mint state coins with sharp strike and minimal marks can command several dollars to tens of dollars, and error varieties can move into the hundreds or more depending on rarity and demand. Collector demand is driven by multiple layers. Lincoln cent collectors often pursue date and mint mark sets, making every year and mint necessary for completion. Others chase error coins, building specialized collections of oddities and minting mishaps. Long-term investors look for stable series with consistent demand, and the Lincoln cent remains one of the most widely collected coin series in the world. The 1969D fits neatly into these strategies because it is affordable, historically relevant, and offers the thrill of potential discovery. Every roll search carries the hope of uncovering an unusual die variety or a beautifully preserved example that has quietly escaped circulation damage. Mintage statistics alone do not dictate desirability. Survival rates, condition rarity, and collector psychology play enormous roles. Many 1969D cents were heavily circulated, cleaned, or damaged over decades of use. Finding one in clean, fine condition with original surfaces becomes more challenging than raw mintage numbers suggest. As more collectors enter the hobby through online platforms and educational content, demand for even common date coins continues to grow steadily. The 1969D Lincoln cent represents a bridge between mass production and individual discovery. It tells a story of American industry, economic pressure, and artistic continuity. It invites collectors to sharpen their observational skills, learn grading nuances, and appreciate how small details can transform a simple penny into a meaningful collectible. Even in fine condition, it carries educational value, historical presence, and the potential spark that ignites lifelong numismatic curiosity. 1998 Lincoln Penny 1-cent coin without mint mark and fine condition. The 1998 Lincoln Penny without a mint mark originates from the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally omits a mint mark on circulating cents. This coin belongs to a transitional era in the Lincoln cent series, just before the monumental design change that arrived in 2009 for the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth. By the late 1990s, the United States Mint had refined production techniques, improved quality control, and embraced modern die manufacturing methods. Yet despite technological advances, massive mintages still created opportunities for subtle varieties, striking differences, and collectible anomalies. The composition of the 1998 cent is primarily copper-plated zinc, a change introduced in the early 1980s to reduce costs. This shift altered weight, feel, and long-term durability. Collectors pay attention to plating quality, as blisters, peeling, and zinc exposure can dramatically affect eye appeal and longevity. A fine condition example shows moderate circulation wear but remains structurally sound, with readable legends and intact plating. Design continuity remains the familiar Lincoln portrait and Lincoln Memorial reverse. The portrait continues to project strength and calm leadership, while the memorial maintains its architectural symmetry and symbolic weight. On Philadelphia strikes, detail sharpness can vary, and collectors often look closely at the hairline detail, the bow tie, and the crispness of the lettering. Even within fine grade, strike quality can separate an average coin from one with above-average eye appeal. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1998 cent is its connection to notable varieties, particularly the wide and close spacing variations in lettering that collectors love to study. While the most famous close and wide AM varieties occurred in adjacent years, the excitement of searching for unexpected die pairings remains high. Error coins such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and doubled dies occasionally surface, adding another layer of excitement and market value potential. From a mintage perspective, 1998 cents were produced in enormous quantities, numbering in the billions. This ensures widespread availability, but it also means that true condition rarity begins at higher grades. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially those with full original red color and minimal contact marks, become increasingly scarce. Even in fine condition, collectors seek examples with even wear and pleasing surfaces, avoiding heavily scratched or environmentally damaged pieces. Market value for a standard 1998 Philadelphia cent in fine condition typically remains close to face value. However, value is not always measured purely in monetary terms. Many collectors build date runs, year sets, or educational collections that highlight modern coinage evolution. For young collectors and beginners, the 1998 cent provides an affordable entry point into grading practice, variety identification, and preservation awareness. Collector demand is shaped by accessibility and nostalgia. People who grew up in the 1990s often recognize these coins from childhood pocket change, creating emotional connection. As time passes, even modern issues slowly transition from everyday objects into historical artifacts of a specific era. The internet age has also amplified interest in searching pocket change for hidden gems, bringing renewed attention to coins once considered too common to matter. Errors drive a significant portion of demand. A genuine double die or dramatic minting error on a 1998 cent can command impressive premiums, sometimes reaching hundreds of dollars depending on severity and condition. Authentication and certification become critical, as many machine doubling or minor anomalies can mislead inexperienced collectors. Education and careful comparison remain essential tools for maximizing value and avoiding disappointment. Long-term collectability depends on consistent interest in the Lincoln Cent series. Given its status as America's longest-running coin design, demand remains strong across generations. The 1998 Philadelphia cent benefits from being part of the copper-plated zinc era, which itself tells a story of economic adaptation and material science. Collectors interested in composition changes often include representative examples from each era. The 1998 Lincoln cent without a mint mark in fine condition represents modern numismatics at its most approachable. It offers learning opportunities, variety hunting excitement, and a tangible link to recent American history. Though modest in face value, its educational and collecting potential continues to grow as more enthusiasts discover the joy of studying even the smallest denominations. 1981 Lincoln Penny 1-cent coin without mint mark and fine condition. The 1981 Lincoln Penny without a mint mark also originates from the Philadelphia Mint and stands at a pivotal point in the evolution of the cent. This year marks one of the last full years before the mint transitioned from predominantly copper composition to copper-plated zinc in 1982. As a result, the 1981 cent carries the weight and feel of traditional copper, making it especially interesting to collectors who study metallurgical changes and transitional years. Historically, the early 1980s were marked by inflation, rising metal costs, and significant economic adjustments. The mint faced increasing pressure as copper prices approached and sometimes exceeded the face value of the cent. This economic tension directly influenced production decisions and future composition changes. Holding a 1981 cent today connects collectors to that moment of economic decision-making and industrial adaptation. Design remains consistent with the classic Lincoln portrait and memorial reverse. The artistry reflects decades of familiarity, yet subtle differences in strike quality, die wear, and surface texture distinguish individual examples. A fine condition coin displays visible wear on high points such as Lincoln's cheek and jawline, but retains clear lettering and overall integrity. Collectors often appreciate original toning on copper cents, as natural browns and reds add character and authenticity. Mintage numbers for 1981 Philadelphia cents were extremely high, reaching into the billions. While this suggests abundance, true scarcity emerges in higher grades and in special varieties. One of the most intriguing aspects of 1981 cents involves small date and large date variations, a feature that captivates specialists. Identifying these variations requires careful comparison of numerals and spacing, turning ordinary pocket change into a puzzle for dedicated collectors. Errors also play a significant role in desirability. Off-metal strikes, die cracks, rotated dies, and double dies can occasionally appear, transforming a common cent into a valuable collectible. Because many 1981 cents circulated heavily, finding well-preserved error examples becomes increasingly difficult, driving premiums higher. Market value for a typical 1981 Philadelphia cent in fine condition remains modest, usually close to face value. However, copper content adds intrinsic interest, especially during periods when metal prices rise. While melting coins is prohibited, the psychological effect of copper value influences collector perception and long-term appeal. Higher-grade examples, especially those with strong red color and minimal marks, can command higher prices and steady demand. Collector demand is fueled by multiple motivations. Some collectors pursue complete date and mint sets. Others specialize in copper-era cents, building collections that end just before the composition change. Variety hunters seek small date and large date distinctions, while error collectors remain vigilant for unusual strikes. Each group contributes to ongoing liquidity and interest in the market. Educational value is another strong driver. The 1981 cent provides a tangible example for teaching grading, metal composition history, and economic influences on coinage. Many seasoned collectors encourage beginners to study transitional years because they illustrate how external forces shape currency design and production. Long-term outlook for the 1981 Lincoln cent remains positive due to the enduring popularity of the Lincoln series and the growing interest in pre-zinc copper issues. As more coins succumb to environmental damage, cleaning, and attrition, original examples in fine or better condition slowly become more desirable. The steady flow of new collectors entering the hobby through online communities and educational media continues to support demand. The 1981 Lincoln penny without a mint mark in fine condition stands as a quiet witness to change. It captures the final echoes of America's traditional copper cent era, the pressures of economic reality, and the enduring appeal of Lincoln's image. Though humble in denomination, it carries layers of history, collectability, and discovery potential that keep enthusiasts searching, learning, and appreciating the remarkable stories hidden in everyday coins.